So, should I start with my generic YouTuber accent now? Like, should I start practicing that, or is it too early in the channel's lifetime for that? Like, is there a certain subscriber threshold that you have to be for that one? Hmm, something to think about. Alright, so anyway, on a serious note, welcome to the first part of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the newest game in the Borderlands franchise. And here we have, instead of vault hunters looking for loot and fame, we have nerds playing D&D. And the game has a very similar humor to it that the previous games had. But unlike the previous games, it seems to be more fitting because of the setting. You know, instead of actual life or death scenarios where people are getting gunned down and all that other stuff, the writing lends itself much more to this childish fantasy setting. And so, as you can see, I have already played up to Chapter 6. I will be starting a new character because, I mean, who wants to watch from part way through, right? So let's go ahead and hit new game, intense, because who doesn't want? Let's see, what all does that actually add? Let's see, bonus gold, moon orb drops, and it requires more elemental coordination and stuff. So sure, why not? This doesn't matter because I'm not going to be playing multiplayer at all for the sake of this. And let's go ahead and watch this opening cutscene.
There is a world beyond the Borderlands. A world forged by wonder and ruled by fate. The battle between these powers has raged since the beginning. Evil and good. Villains and heroes. A vicious cycle, endlessly repeated. Wonder is the power of a cruel, unpredictable god. But fate, there's one alone who can wield fate. One alone whose story is in their own hands. The Fate Maker. That's you. Heavy, right? Fate Maker. Big responsibility. Honestly, I wouldn't even blame you if you just laid down in a puddle and gave up. But if not, if you try and prove yourself as Fate Maker, then heed the warning I give all heroes. Together you fight. Together you shall fall.
Critical hit! The undead fall beneath our blade!
Oh yeah! Sing! It's going real good over here, blade-wise. We're coming for you, Dragon Lord.
Fools! Your party of heroes can't stop me. Already Wow, you guys got here fast.
Like you said, we're the heroes. I am Valentine, gallant adventurer. The scary stabby one is Fred.
What about that one?
That's the newbie. It's their first adventure.
Oh, come on. Their figure isn't even fully painted.
Enough talk. We're here to stop you from taking the soul energy.
Fools! I've already absorbed all of the soul energy. I'm invincible!
Ah, man. Sorry, newbie. We missed the soul energy.
Castles will burn. Babies will cry. More than usual. My skeleton armies will wash over the lands.
Looking bad. How do we win this?
We attack! Together!
Pathetic. Especially you, newbie. They don't make heroes like they used to. Time to die!
But then, just as the heroes lose hope, they hear
A nay?
yeah, and also like, you know, like a sparkling rainbow, which goes like crinkle, caw, caw, caw. It is Queen most beautifulest, perfectest ruler in all the land.
Hold on, what game are we playing here?
We're playing Bunkers and Badasses, baby!
And I, Tiny Tina, am the Bunker Master. So when I say, go! And I say there's a magical diamond by a corn named Butt Stallion who saves the day!
Oh, I was kind of hoping we would save the day.
You will, Valley Girl. I just gotta set the stakes. Now, let's table talk. Cue Dragon Lord!
But Stallion, you may be the most beautifulest, perfectest ruler in all the land, but this time, I've won.
But Butt Stallion was wielding the coolest sword in the whole world. The Sword of Sword.
Oh, would you? I just made those skeletons. No! No! I curse you, Valentine! And I curse you, Fret! And most of all, I curse you, newbie! Whatever your name is, I will return and finally rid this world of heroes!
And with that, the Dragon Lord was defeated. For now. Exposition complete! Who's ready to rickety roleplay?
Yeah, might as well. We're stranded here after that mountain totally jumped out at our ship.
Yeah, he crashed it. I'm in. I love bunkers and badasses. I've already got a level 40 character.
No. We are making all new characters. This is the newbies' first game, and I'm gonna make sure it's an adventure they'll never forget.
You ready, newbie?
Time for character sheets, baby!
Ah, connection lost. That's a great thing to see, I guess. Alright, anyway, so, as you can see, unlike previous Borderlands games, you do get to create your character instead of just having preset ones. You have 6 different classes to choose from. You have the Stabomancer, who is your pretty average, just stealth, critical-based character. You have the Clawbringer, which appears to be a heavy knight involving lightning and fire damage with your little dragon companion friend. You have your Spell Shot, which is this game's wizard. You get the ability to have 2 spells, which the spells are like the grenades of this game. Seems really good, actually, if you can find a good combination of spells to use. You have the Graveborn, which is like a Bloodmancer, from what I've gathered. You get your little Lich companion here that does stuff, and your abilities seem to do a lot with health and hurting enemies while draining yourself and healing yourself, and that's an interesting idea. You have the Spore Warden, which you get your little Mushroom Man companion, and you seem to be very much about buffing your ranged abilities. And you get your Frost Cyclones for some reason, which, to my knowledge, they don't really get many things that buff Frost. However, I do know that there are multi-classing abilities in this game, which then brings us to the Berserker, which I feel like if you multi-class Spore Warden and Berserker, you could make those tornadoes be very strong. The Berserker here is all about frost damage, as you can probably guess from the name. And their whole thing is trying to keep your action skills up at all times, so you can be enraged, and enraged gives you various bonuses. So yeah, there's your 6 classes, and for the sake of this, I'm going to go Sporemancer, or Spore Warden. And here we have the actual character creation screen. As you can see, you do start as a completely unpainted minifigure, which you can continue to play that way if you wish. But you can come in here, you can customize all this stuff, all sorts of things, all over. And I'm going to go ahead and cut to after the creation of the character, and I will see you then. Okay, so here we have our character, and you got this big bald man with very fancy facial hair and some luxurious eyebrows. But anyway, after you create your character, you go into choosing your character's background. We have these 5 variations here. We have the Village Idiot, which raises strength and lowers intelligence. Raised by Elves, which raises dexterity and lowers constitution. Failed Monk, which lowers strength and dex, while raising intelligence and wisdom. Recovering Inventory Hoarder, which lowers dexterity and constitution while raising intelligence and attunement. And we have Rogue Alchemist, which lowers dexterity and constitution while raising wisdom. And as you can see on the side here, what those various stats do. Like I said, I have played up to Chapter 6, and as you level up, you get to put points into these stats, so I don't really think this matters a whole lot, and it's just kind of there for a little bit of a boost in a certain area. I personally am a big fan of the Village Idiot on paper because the increase to crit damage with the very minor spell cooldown percent seems to be a very good trade-off in my opinion. Because a 3% cooldown hit just doesn't really seem as big of a deal when you take into account 10% crit damage, because that's, you know, that's a pretty big number, all things considered. So I'm going to go ahead and go that. And now we have our hero points that we can allocate, and we can distribute them as we see fit. As you can see, my strength is higher up than 10, and my intelligence is lower than 10, and also the max on those is higher or lower depending on what I chose. So my intelligence can go up to a maximum of 27 instead of a maximum of 30, and my strength can go to a max of 38 instead of 30. And as you see on the side here, it tells you what classes benefit the most from these stats. With Spore Warden getting bonuses from attunement and dexterity, I'm just gonna say, yeah, all in on dex. Just get the most crit chance possible out of it. And now, I am very cultured when it comes to character names. Usually, if I get to name a character, this is pretty much how it goes. I choose a character class or a big characteristic of the character, slap that on, followed by the word hippo. That's how you do branding, baby.
Time's up!
Okay. Valentine, you've just drawn your own face over the character sheet?
It said draw your hero.
You know, I'm gonna try to avoid talking as much as I can while they're talking, but I just gotta say, I never noticed how thick that robot is. Like, boy.
Okay, no plan. Fred and Valentine can't be trusted with pencils, let alone dice. So it is up to you, newbie. You are the fate maker. And these fools shall be thine advisors, I guess.
Fine. I advise that you better be a badass. We're here to slay evil and get gold.
I know you see me as a role model. Follow my lead and you'll be a great fate maker.
Alright, one last thing. Bunkers and Badasses is a role-playing game, baby. That means you do not break character voice. Kapiski? Break me off a piece of that.
I'm looking to find some coin. If I happen to save the world while I'm at it, so be it.
Tasty! Now, prepare to enter a world of fantasy!
I don't see anything.
You gotta imagine it, knucklehead.
Just close your eyes and wonder. You have arrived in the Snoring Valley, an unassuming and peaceful corner of the Queen that harbors a dark secret. Dun, dun. You journeyed far to be here, heeding the call of the Queen herself.
The Queen herself! What could she want of us?
She fears the Dragon Lord will soon reawaken. You must find find his tomb and prevent his resurrection.
What I'm hearing is we get to whoop his ass.
Damn bridge is out.
Okay, so as you probably noticed, I am getting some frame dips, and I do apologize for that, but I don't have the greatest computer out there, and computer parts are still rather expensive, so it's not really just a matter of upgrading. But I figured, yeah, let's try it, you know? I just try to do this and see if I can make something happen with it. I'll try to tweak some settings in between recording sessions if it gets too bad. But as it stands, I hope it's not too bad.
You recognize one of the Queen's waystones. It seems to call to you. The Queen's magic enters you through the stone, granting you the power of a fallen tree bars your path. What you gonna do about it, huh?
I cast identify tree.
It's a species called Jumpus tutorialis, and weirdly, it only grows in this one valley.
Also, now that I have another moment of them not talking, there's a lot of talking in the early game here, and I'm going to try to avoid talking over that as much as possible, but I can't guarantee I will all the time. But also, as you can see, I've just been kind of running through this. This is a pretty straight line, and since I've already done it, I'm just kind of going through it. Once I get later in and there's more open areas and all that, I will try to explore and find hidden things here and there. Can't guarantee I'll find them all, but we see what happens.
Ahead, the glint of edge steel beckons you forward.
Nice piece of steel, that.
Love a good axe. Great.
Though the magical hoofprints continue through the cave, the rocky ceiling dips low to the ground.
A true fate maker knows when to stand tall and when to crouch.
Yeah, work them sweet glutes. And if you get a running start and crouch, you'll slide around like a cool action hero. Another waystone guides your path, but reaching it will mean going through a pack of nasty, pinchy crabs.
Yeah! Combat! Kill them all!
Ah, pinchy! They're so pinchy!
And there goes my frame rate, taking a pretty big dip. I'll see if it gets better throughout this, or if that's just like a first encounter thing.
I think we killed.
What's this? Shrine?
That's right. The Queen has ruled the Wonderlands since I was but a humble player, like you, Bing Bongs. She has foreseen your arrival and left a powerful weapon for you. The weapon of a fate maker.
It's a gun!
This thing's off rust, but it'll still put holes in someone.
Wait, there's guns in fantasy?
You're in Tatus fantasy, baby! Shrine door rises beneath you. From here, you can spy a quaint little village nestled in the bodacious bosom of the valley. But beyond it, a dark and ancient castle lurks. Lurkingly.
But the Dragon Lord is here. He'll be in that castle.
Alright, so as you can see, this weapon does have multiple fire rates, or fire modes, which is something they introduced in Borderlands 3, and I adore that system. It makes each weapon that has them feel unique, in that, you know, you can get one like this, which, to my knowledge, the starting weapon in this is the same every time, a 2-shot or a 4-shot burst. But I mean, there's some that go from assault rifle to an LMG with a bipod, or, you know, you get impact grenades or sticky grenades.
You will never reach the Diamond.
Skellyman ambush!
Go break some bones, fake maker.
Now, immediately off the bat, you will notice I am just terrible at the combat. My accuracy has never been good in any shooter. But yeah, it's not a PvP game or anything, so if my accuracy isn't exactly perfect, it's not like it's gonna really affect anyone but me.
Holy crap, they might reach the Dark Master! I gotta book it!
Yeah, whatever he's talking about. There's a loot chest up on that tower. Get them loots.
I am Rivula, faithful servant of the Dragon Lord. Tell me where his tomb is, or I'll make you a skeleton too!
I don't
serious.
know. I swear it on the Queen's diamond tail.
Lies! You are soaked in skeleton! Spread out, my undead hordes! We must find the Master!
Ooh, you found a sword. That's like a magical shield above your health. Pretty sweet. Uh-oh, a rock slide bars your way to the village.
We're ruined! All is lost!
Very heroic. Tina, can we blow up the rocks?
Sorry, it's impossible. Without explosives!
Victory! I never lost hope.
Ahead, you hear the roar of raging fire! And the clackety-clackety... Ooh, the village is already ransacked and crawling with skilly.
Gotta run around and look for ammo since I still only have the one weapon. I could whack them with my melee whacker, but you know, I'm not exactly spec'd for that, so it's gonna do substantially less damage than a gun right now. I really gotta work on my ability to talk while playing. It's not really something that I'm used to since I have been spending most of my time playing games in silence.
An extra powerful skeleton arises!
Alright, so as you can see, we have leveled up for our first time, and we have gotten access to our first action skill. And once I finish this encounter, I'll be going over that.
They'll be shaking in their boots.
A single villager remains alive in the carnage. But she looks bad, baby. She looks like she's about to die.
Might as well save them peasant ass.
Okay, so here we have our skill tree. As you can see, I only have access to one of the action skills, and I will be getting access to the other one later on. So as you can see, what this one does, you know, you summon your bow, it shoots the arrows, ability damage, ricochet, all that. Increases to your gun damage, will apply bonus damage to the barrage ability, and you get multiple charges. So this ability seems really cool in my opinion. Simple, but cool. And I'm going to go ahead and put a point into this for the extra gun damage because, I mean, who doesn't love passive extra damage while also buffing their super? And then you also, on top of your skill point, you get a hero point every level up, to my knowledge, which is, well, here. We have points to put into our various stats, and I'm going to go ahead and put another one into crit because all in on the crit.
Thank you for saving my peasant ass, stranger. How can I ever repay you?
Free of charge. I'm looking for the Dragon Lord.
You're a fate maker. I knew the queen would send us a hero. The tomb is in the crypt below Castle Herofast. You must hurry before his minions find it.
The tomb is inside a crypt. The perfect hiding place.
The run?
I actually completely forgot to look at my items that I picked up during that encounter. It doesn't look like any actual guns were obtained other than this.
Castle Herofast are just out.
So we got burst shot or semi-auto.
Which is fantasy, if you're saying. It's over there, baby.
I sense the Dragon Lord's presence is somewhere beneath these ruins. Find him, fellow skeleton!
Wait. I thought you already beat the Dragon Lord.
That was forever ago. He's a necromancer. It's hard to legit kill him. After you guys went bony toe-to-toe, Queen Butt Stallion locked his butt away in a dusty tomb for a few hundred years.
He's gonna be a cranky boy.
Cranky boy. I want to work on speaking more. When doing the editing process, if I come across parts where I'm just silent for too long and there's nothing really going on, I'll try to cut those out, or at least shorten them.
No one is left to walk these halls. No one living.
So, skeleton.
Yes, good. You're picking up on it.
Well, that little scramble there when I was trying to melee just kind of shows how not good I am at video games. So down here we have a collectible that gives you a cosmetic piece.
Verily, 'tis a poem. Surely the author would be glad to see its safe return. When you got more than one gun, you can switch between them. Keeps combat spicy, like jambalaya.
So, Tina, maybe after this quest, I could be the bunker master. I've been working on a campaign. It's got orcs and kissing.
Tina don't play no more, okay? But it's all good. I got mega tons of plasticals simmering up in my brain sauce, baby.
Now, if we go up here, we have another type of collectible, which are these loot die, which, when you interact with them, they spit out loot. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
Throne Hall lies barren, decrepit. The last of the Herald bloodline sits in her ancient throne, her bones clutching a dusty spellbook as though awaiting a destiny that never came.
Well, this place is super great. I love it! Grab that spell book! Now, how do we get into the tomb crypt? There's gotta be an entrance around here somewhere.
Smash time!
These motherfuckers just do not shut up, do they? No, you don't really notice.
The dry air of the crypt whips past you as you hurtle down into the depths beneath the castle. It smells of old stone and old expense.
I could get that this is supposed to simulate a D&D campaign, but like, you don't really notice just how much they talk until you're trying to also talk. When you're just going at it, playing by yourself, you don't even notice it really.
You hear a rumble and a booming laugh that seems to come from all around you.
Get stuffed, ghost.
I found it! A tomb inside of a crypt! The perfect hiding place! I am coming, my dark master!
He's gonna resurrect the Dragon Lord. That's the exact opposite of what we want. We gotta get in there.
Now earlier, or actually really not that much earlier, just a little bit ago, I picked up my first spell, which, as I mentioned earlier, spells are essentially the grenades of this game. But unlike grenades,
You feel its magic within your chest in your soul. It asks a question. Who are you?
I am a fate maker.
You have answered smartly, baby! The carbon door to the Dragon Lord's tomb crumbles!
The resurrection ritual has begun!
These motherfuckers need to learn to shut up every now and then. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, the spells are essentially the grenades of this game, but unlike grenades, instead of a consumable that you have to replenish through finding or purchasing, it's just on a cooldown. And you can lower that cooldown through points.
Oh, boss fight! I got a special figurine for this guy. 1 second. Rising before you is one of the Dragon Lord's most loyal undead soldiers. It's Rivula! Roll for initiative!
And here we have our first boss fight of the game. Pretty standard fare, honestly. Much like all of these games, the first boss is never really that big of a threat. You might go down here and there, but honestly, you really have very little chance of actually dying to them. It's just kind of kite, shoot. If you get low on health, it happens. If you go down, there's going to be an ad to get you up. You know, you just do your thing, and you will die. It's really that simple, honestly. Ooh, purple.
There's still time! You can seal the Dragon Lord away before he escapes!
Dragon Lord can eat my ass. I want to look at my loot. Alright, well that is a massive upgrade. Is it too early for me to refuse commons? I think so. Commons lose their usefulness almost immediately, in my opinion. So let's go and put that there, and yeah, let's go and try that spell. See what happens.
Dragon Lord is free, suckers!
Dragon Lord, let's do this.
That's good. Yeah, not happening. Come on, the Fate Maker never beats the villain in the first quest. Still, you're stronger than the ones she sent before. I wonder. We'll meet again, Fate Maker. But for now, I have to go pay an old shiny friend a visit. See you around the neighborhood.
Damn it, he got away. We gotta track him down. I want that big bad boss kind of loot.
Inexorable!
That seems pretty cool. Got ourselves a little ice meteor.
Maker's journey begins as so many do, with a heart full of fire and dreams of dragons and magic. It will end only one way, with the ultimate defeat of all evil.
Despite your heroic efforts, the Dragon Lord has escaped!
Wait a minute. Did you hear what he said? Shiny? Friend? Neighborhood? I know where he's headed. He's after Queen Butt Stallion!
To warn Queen Butt Stallion of the Dragon
Just mirrors that
Lord's
motherfucker out here
escape,
sound like
travel
Shaggy.
far across the Wonderlands to the capital city of Bright.
Looks like that was our reward for that. Let's see. Yeah, let's go and give it a shot. I'm a sucker for shotguns. Shoots out no laser beam. And I think I will actually go ahead and call it here for this episode. You know, just been recording for a while and get this all edited down and whatnot just to see how much of this footage is actually usable, since it's my first foray into the adventures of video making. But yeah, this is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and if anybody has stumbled across this video and made it to the end, I just want to say I genuinely appreciate it. I'm not here to try to turn this into a job or try to make a lot of money out of it or anything like that. Nah, I'm here as a hobby, and I want to make other people happy. So yeah, you know, if you've made it here and you've made it to the end, I just want to say I genuinely appreciate you taking your time to watch this. And I hope I could have at least put a smile on your face, even once, or even if not a smile, at least maybe get your mind off of hard times in your life or something. So, yeah, with that, I will be calling it here, and I will hopefully see you in the next part.